Deadly twisters. Tonight, the heart of Nashville gets slammed hard during the height of rush hour. Also throughout the South, more twisters. Why so many so early in the season? Paula Jones versus President Clinton.
I've decided to appeal the court's decision.
An emotional Jones fighting on. And the prosecutor versus the president. Ken Starr reveals he's far from finished.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. It was a terrifying rush hour in Nashville tonight when one of a swarm of tornadoes tearing up the South hit the heart of the Tennessee capital, and the weather map shows more could be headed their way. This Nashville twister came at the end of a long day throughout the Mid-South, with tornadoes striking Kentucky and Arkansas as well. We begin tonight with NBC's Robert Hager.
It's everyone's greatest fear, a tornado making a direct hit on the downtown area of a big city. As residents run for cover, this one touches down east of Nashville first and then skips through the city. And early reports talk of as many as 100 people injured and a 3 to 4 mile wide swath of damage. Tennessee's governor declares the city a disaster area. Continue dark in Nashville, the city may not be out of the woods yet, and it'll take hours to assess the damage, physical and human. One more episode in this violent spring in the Southeast. Robert Hager, NBC News, reporting.
Just kept churning and churning and churning, and that noise was just unforgettable. We've had probably 20 injuries, which has been very lucky, very fortunate in only that number of injuries.
Again, at last report, officials were estimating that perhaps as many as 100 people have been injured. The Nashville tornado cut a 3 to 4 mile path through downtown. Among the damaged zones, Nashville's Centennial Park Medical Complex, housing a number of hospitals, the Tennessee State Capitol, and police and fire headquarters were also extensively damaged. Joining us now, CBS News weather consultant, one of the world's experts, Neil Frank of KHOU. Dr. Frank, is it my imagination, or has this been a particularly active year for tornadoes?
Well, Dan, it certainly got an active start, and we can thank El Nino for that.
Line of storms just touch off those tornadic activity all the way from Arkansas across the river and into north-central sections of Tennessee. And as I mentioned, I will reiterate that the Nashville EMA has reported another tornado touchdown in the downtown area of Nashville. Judy?
All right, Karen, thank you. And now joining us on the telephone from Nashville is Cecil Whaley. He is with the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency. Mr. Whaley, we talked with you, gosh, it must have been about an hour ago. What can you tell us since then about what new information you've obtained about damage and casualties?
Well, we've actually had a second tornado touchdown in the city since the last time I talked with you, Judy, at about 6th and Commerce, which is about 4 blocks away from the first tornado activity that we had. It's very rare that would occur, but you know, we are tracking more storms to the west of Nashville, which has the potential for entering into the city and continuing this devilment that we've had this afternoon.
You can see, and you will see transformers and power lines occasionally go here, but that is you can see the cyclonic activity.
Dan, this is Terry Bolger. We are probably right now seeing more than the folks who were actually downtown saw, because so many of them in the higher buildings were seeking cover when this did go through. So many buildings with glass windows down here. The folks who are in those buildings were certainly far away, so they didn't get a chance to see this either.
Yeah, so even if they were in it, they didn't see it, but we're seeing it here on this home video.
That's right. That looks, yeah, just looking at the arena there, just off Lower Broad.
Well, I've never seen, or have not seen in many years, the type of wind we had here at the station, and I don't know whether how close the tornado came to the WSMV studios here, but it was quite frightening.
And whoever shot this video, I see, took cover at some point.
This is the tornado. We can actually see it. If you look, you can see the actual funnel there. Come in here with me. We're gonna have, as we watch this video, the people. Tracy,
okay, WSMV got their hands on some home video in which you could barely make out the funnel cloud. The wires are now saying, yes, it did, but it didn't touch down. They cleared people off the streets, but have now let them back out on the street. However, They're not out of the woods yet, are they?
They sure are. There are still squall lines throughout that area. If we look at the radar again, you can see the Nashville area, and you can see some lines of thunderstorms still on to their west. So this
front on First Avenue, traffic is moving, but just a short while ago, it looked as though another tornado was coming this way. Let's take a look at that video. I want to show you how dramatic it was. Go ahead and roll it. I don't know if you can hear the audio, but at that point they were telling us, officers here on the scene were telling us, just run for cover. Everyone peeled out. They were going to the basement. They were trying to get cover. A tornado had actually been spotted just to the north of here. That's what the clouds look like, and this is roughly about 20, 30 minutes ago.
He was buying some strings.
He was buying some guitar strings,
yeah.
And I was cleaning out the back of the car at the time, and when I was leaning over, I felt this cloud come over the back of me, and my ears started to pop, and that's when I knew this is more than just a cloud. And I looked up, and I saw the sky was completely black.
We can see the video.
Black. Yes, exactly. And at the time, I was looking up into the sky, and I noticed that it was moving really fast, and so I figured, oh, I better videotape this just for the sake of, just in case, because we knew that there was a chance that Tennessee could have a tornado.
You had heard tornado.
I had heard tornado. You know, we had never seen a tornado, so we really didn't know what to look for. So then at the time, I took the video camera and I started taping the sky, and that's when he ran out and said, you better get inside, everyone's saying a tornado's coming.
The folks in the music store allowed us to come in.
The music store was saying, you better come inside. So we were running inside to the music store to try to take cover, because at that moment, all the wind started to blow and the debris started to fly through the streets and people started running. And so I kept the videotape going as much as I could.
Eyewitness of the storm in Nashville. More on Internight. John Siegenthaler live in Nashville tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
You know, they were trying to basically control traffic because the situation down there is a mess. They're not sure how secure some of the downtown buildings are. So concerned about that other tornado coming in that they're trying to also evacuate people and get them to safety. So it's hard to say just what kind of damage was out there unless you're looking right at the Ryman.
We're also told that there was a group in the Ryman and became very anxious when the tornado hit, but the band started playing to help calm the fears a little bit, and that helped get a lot of people through what was going on downtown.
Ripping up some of these buildings over here. If Al can go down there, you can see now that's an old abandoned building, but boy, it sure caused a lot of damage.
This camera was poised on top of Nashville's skyscraper. You can barely see through the ominous clouds, the high winds, and the pelting rain. One of the most frightening scenes was captured outside another station, WSMV. MSNBC's Brian Williams described the screaming twister which threatened to tear apart the building.
If you have ever been through one of these, then the videotape they just showed from the back of their television station is as close as you ever want to come.
Absolutely frightening.
Partly cloudy skies, a little cooler now, 50 degrees. Our humidity get up to the low 60s because we've got the cooler air pushing in behind our front. That's the good news, though. The front pushes on down to the south and east. All the showers and thunderstorms have pushed into the Carolinas as well as Georgia, and they're going to continue to push a little farther to the south and then put the brakes on. The bad news is here's the next batch of rain just developing around New Orleans and southern sections of Louisiana. That's what's coming back our way tonight. Notice the cool down, though. We're 50 in Nashville. It's 48 in Jackson and 46 in Dyersburg. May drop a degree or so here in Nashville before the sun comes up. And Bowling Green's at 46. In Chattanooga, 63 degrees, 55 in Huntsville. The front not through the eastern part of the state yet, and that's why their temperatures are much milder than ours. Here's that low that's going to return the rain right back to our region by tonight. So get the work done if you can today. This morning, as you step out the door around 49 degrees, you'll want the sweater on. Sun coming up at 6:11, and we'll have a full day with daylight saving time to get some work done today. But again, that rain returns tonight with increasing clouds today. We'll call it mostly cloudy today. I believe we had 16 tornadoes that ended up being confirmed by spotters or else folks on the ground. And Irv, what was that figure and how many warnings were issued?
168.
168 warnings were issued just from the Nashville